And we are here at the LA Auto Show with Julie Zona, who is with the Progressive Insurance Automotive X Prize. Make sure we get in a plug-in for the,
Thank you very much.
The biggest sponsor there. Julia, you just issued a press release today. You have announced now you've got 22 teams that have registered and something like 100 and some teams that have letters of intent. So first of all, explain to us, what is the Automotive X Prize and what is the significance of today's announcement?
Okay, well, the Automotive X Prize is a prize in similar structure to the X Prize, the Ansari X Prize that was out there for space travel. The X Prize Foundation believes in enhancing technology through competition. So basically this prize puts out some guidelines to teams to see who can come up with a 100 mile per gallon or the energy equivalent vehicle and meet our qualifications. And the qualifications really are, it's a real car, it is not a concept car, that can be built up to 10,000 units in real production facilities at a reasonable price point, keeping in mind safety and emissions and cost. So really something real for the market, so that the market can get excited about it and purchase it.
Okay, so you've got these teams that sort of differentiate between what is a letter of intent and what is a registered
Well, we
team.
have 123 teams right now that are letter of intent teams, and that means they have taken the initial step to show that they are officially interested in being part of the Progressive Insurance Automotive X Prize. Registered teams have taken that bigger step. They have invested and paid their fee. There is a fee, a $5,000 fee at this point in time to become a registered contender. They have filled out all of the paperwork, which is overviews of business plans, the scope of the project, their technology, investors, and quite a bit of information that needs to be provided. And really, they're the ones that are locked down as our original group of competitors. Okay. And there's, happy to say, there's 22. 22,
so more of those other 100 teams that are still outstanding there can still, is there a sort of cutoff date?
February 28th of 2009. 28th.
So everybody else that wants to get in has to have all that paperwork and the $5,000.
Yes.
Then okay, so where does that, once you've got these teams registered now, where does the program go from here? What's next?
What's next is that everybody is getting ready for their data submission. We'll have a data submission due May 1st of 2009 for all the registered teams, and there's a panel of judges that will go through the data submission and make sure all of the information that we're asking for, and it is pretty extensive, really, to try to get real cars instead of some of the concepts or, for lack of a better term, science fair type projects. And once everybody passes that phase, then they start into the actual on-road phases and testing phases on tracks and dynos and getting part of the real competition.
Okay, now I noticed that a couple of these, when I checked out the links this morning, looked like they were just sort of using conventional cars like the Honda Civic, and apparently their wrinkle, if you will, is something different. The engine is different, or whatever the drivetrain is. So that's a little bit different approach now to...
Well, we've opened it up. We've tried to create kind of a level playing field, really, for all different types of technologies. Because if you look at, are we really going to go to one new type of technology? No, there's probably going to be a number of different technologies out there. Some of our teams have actually worked on for quite some time bolt-on technologies, replacement technologies that you can retrofit into vehicles that currently exist. And that's what you're seeing in some of those links. And they are still held to the same level of requirements as the rest of the teams, which is in essence the 100 mile per gallon or energy equivalent.
Okay. Now when you say energy, what are sort of the criteria? You obviously are going to have some kind of a standard by which the judges judge what is 100 miles or equivalent. So are you working on that? Have you sort of devised what that standard is at this point? What the test measurements are?
They're very, very detailed test measurements on our emissions and our energy usage. There have been a group of people from various government agencies, institutes, universities, experts in the field really that have been working with us to try to create these guidelines. Again, I say pretty stringent guidelines so that we can go forward and have a more reality-based equal playing field for the folks to judge their technologies and their capabilities.
Okay, so at some point then there'll be a winner or winners announced?
We have two classes, mainstream vehicles, which are really what you're seeing today. They're multiple passenger, 4 passenger, 5 passenger vehicles, 4 wheels, and there's a purse for that mainstream category. We also have an alternative class, which we've broken into 2 different groups, and that's really 2-passenger, 3 wheels, can be 4, but 2-passenger, more interesting, unique, not mainstream type vehicles. But we've broken that into 2 classifications inside of the alternative class, and that is tandem seating and traditional seating.
Okay. How do you judge manufacturability? In other words, when this is all done, one of these vehicles in each one of these classes is going to be selected as the winner.
Yep.
How do we anticipate, or how do you see moving beyond that, handing that a prize out, and possibly seeing that vehicle or those vehicles get into production?
Well, we're working with a number of companies that actually are going to bring these vehicles into production themselves. There are also a lot of teams that we have that we would love to get them the type of exposure where their technology could, in fact, maybe be purchased and put into production by some of the companies that already exist, or startups that will be starting up in the next couple of years. The Ansari X Prize is a great example. The actual technology was purchased by Sir Richard Branson, and he's using it. So we do want to offer that opportunity to our teams, and I think there are a number of them that are worthy of a close look.
Okay, so we've got the possibility in what time frame? 2012, 2015?
2010 to 2012. 2012 probably more realistically.
Okay, and those vehicles could go on. You don't have any price targets for what those vehicles?
What our goal is that the price targets meet the market demand. So if a vehicle is $75,000 to $80,000, which we kind of think is our top mark, right, top range, they really have to be equipped like other vehicles in the market that are $75,000 or $80,000. So if you're going to play in that market, you need to meet the customer expectations in that market. But we're foreseeing that we have vehicles ranging from, Aptera was one of the vehicles that you probably saw on our link this morning. I know they're around a $27,000 price tag.
Right.
So we're trying to keep things as reasonable as we can, but I think with the technology, everybody understands there is a small price tag for fuel efficiency.
Good, very good. Well, thank you, Julie. I appreciate it, and appreciate the work you guys are
Thank you.
doing Automotive X Prize.
Thank you very much.
Okay.